I know what you're thinking, but oversimplified. If the Romans can build a war fleet from scratch in 2 months, then why does it take you half a year to make a video? Well, my valued subscriber,
oh,
I
damn.
think you should shut up. What the heck? A wooden tower to our ship that'll weigh us down and blow us over in the wind. I mean, what does that thing even do? In slaughtering the entire population and selling any survivors into slavery, which was pretty standard procedure at the time. In general,
Standard
the campaign on
procedure
land was progressing much slower than the Romans had hoped, and quite
OverSimplified has finally dropped another one of these very funny educational history type of videos that I completely enjoy, and every single time I drop these, they're always surprising me with something new. I'm always dying with laughter. I'm always interested in what they gotta say, and you guys always have so much to say in the comments. So another one, the Punic War, the first Punic War. I don't really know what the Punic War is, so I had to do some research. It's like a war or a series of wars that happened between 264 to 246 BC, and it was like something like around the first one was kind of like the Rome and Carthage. I don't know if that's correct or anything. I just did some random research. I'm just thinking like, yeah, these were like wars back in the day, but I feel like this is gonna be really fun. I hope you guys enjoy the video. Remember to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. Let's get right to it.
Introducing our new, glorious, breathtaking bucket plushie. Limited quantity, available now.
Y'all got bucket plushie? Bro, I'm buying one. What the frick? I might buy one.
I'll marry your mother.
What?
It's your choice.
What?
Oh, Marcella.
I got 6 problems, but Rome ain't one.
You sure have a lot of dignitas. Kiss me. Okay.
Oh, you're weird.
Hey, Dad?
Sir, what is that hairline? What the frick?
Newspaper, what can I do for you? Well, you know how you always say Rome is the greatest civilization in the world? It bloody well is. Well, I was just wondering, what makes us so great?
Facts.
How did we come to be? Wow, my son. Boy, let me take you on a journey to this side of the room. The story of Rome begins with these beautiful baby boys going to town on some mommy milkers. That's gross. You're gross. Sorry, son. You're not gross.
What the heck?
Love you. They're called Romulus and Remus, and when they grew up in 753 BC, they founded Rome. But there was just one problem. They couldn't agree on which of them should be the king. But they worked it out peacefully, right? Oh, heavens no. Romulus caved Remus's skull in with a shovel. Here's a picture. Our first king committed fratricide? I know. Look at his face. When's the part where we become the greatest civilization, Dad?
Brotherly love?
You see,
nowhere to be found.
Oh, yeah. I'm talking like a real sausage party. You know what I mean? Yes, sir. So we invited some neighboring cities over for a big feast, and then we literally kidnapped all of their women. Here's a picture. Look at that one. She's like,
yeah. I think I was in for it, right, bro. I knew this was gonna be clucked up beyond measure.
This is messed up. You're messed up. Oh. Sorry. I'll be a better father.
You'll be a better father. What
Finally,
the frick?
After centuries of monarchy, those tyrannical kings started getting a little too big for their britches. So we overthrew the kings and established Rome as a republic. Is that when all the killing stopped? Oh, heavens no. That's when the killing surged, baby. We went wild and conquered the Latin League, the Samnites, the Etruscans.
Oh my...
What a rush. Dad,
oh my
Rome seems pretty barbaric. You're barbaric! Oh, I forgot to tell you about the time a prophet told Saturn his son would one day overthrow him. So Saturn literally ate his own son seconds after he was born.
What?
I don't want to see a picture. Here's a picture.
Oh, I seen this one. Yeah. That's clucked up.
Dad, look at that. That's messed up, man. Are we really this uncivilized? Hey! If we were so uncivilized, would we use communal toilets where we all fart and poo together in one big stinky, steamy, dirty toilet room?
Ew.
Yeah, Dad. We would! Clean your butt with a sponge, Timulus! But all these guys just used it! What's wrong with your son, bro? I don't want to be Roman. This is so weird. You're weird! Sorry, you're not weird. I'm sure you're probably fine.
Ew! Oh, this is about to be freaking lit. Woo! Let's get
The
it!
Roman Republic, a nation that, since its foundation,
Let's
had
go!
been stabbing necks all the way down the Italian peninsula. But this
Golly!
isn't the famous Roman
Violence!
Empire that ruled the known world. Not yet anyway. This is a relatively juvenile Rome, still just a regional power. In 264 BC, the big daddy of the Western Mediterranean was Carthage. Let's rewind a bit.
What's Carthage, though?
Carthage was founded in 814 BC, when some Phoenicians in Tyre had a mega surplus of goods and decided to export those goods across the Mediterranean. They became the dominant trading power in the region, and to support their growing trade network, the Phoenicians established a number of colonies, one of which was Carthage. Therefore, Carthage began its life as a Phoenician trade colony, and the Carthaginians were actually Phoenicians. Or, if you're a Latin-speaking Roman, they were Punic, hence the name of the video. Over the centuries, Carthage gradually expanded and became the region's base of power. Just like Rome, Carthage was a semi-democratic republic with its own senate and judiciary. But there were also some pretty hefty differences between the two. While Rome was big into farming and stabbing people in the neck, the Carthaginians, on the other hand, just like their Phoenician forefathers, had built their power through trade and navigating the waves. They went here and there, selling ivory tusks, gold, and slaves. And as a result, they were rolling in it. Whenever they weren't busy swimming around in their copious hoards of money, in their spare time, they also possibly enjoyed sacrificing their children to Baal, the god.
What?
Let me just check my notes. Ah, yes. Plant fertility. Oh boy, these figs aren't looking too hot.
What?
Maybe if I throw my son into a burning pit of fire.
Oh, God forbid. Oh my gosh. I would not do that. Are you crazy? How delusional were these people, bro? Oh, heck no. I would not survive, bro. I would not survive.
Watering them, Dad?
Water them.
We'll try that second. As a result of all their trading, Carthage had emerged as one of the Mediterranean superpowers. But wait, they said.
Bro, I can't fit this hat in my head.
What the heck is that?
My hair's all over the place.
It's a pretty obscure little country that you've probably never heard of. But this spunky young nation was about to upset the entire region's balance of power. Initially, the two sides enjoyed relatively friendly relations, and it even signed a couple treaties. But it was a relationship that was practically destined to turn sour. See, Rome had a thing where they liked to aggressively expand their boundaries, often viewing such expansion as a defensive act.
Rome is crazy,
When you kill your neighbor, because you knew eventually they would have tried to kill you first. Meanwhile, Carthage was extremely protective of its wealthy trade network. So if you put a very strategically important island between them, well, 2 + 2 equals war. Tensions rose, and the two sides began viewing each other with increasing disdain.
Come on!
The hard-working Romans looked across the water at the money-hungry Carthaginians and said, "Look at those dishonest crooks. Bet they've never done an honest day's work in their lives." And the Carthaginians looked back.
But they're fishermen. What are you talking about? They're tradesmen. Honest work in there. What are you talking about?
Back and said, "Look at those simple-minded brutes. Bet they've never sacrificed a baby in their lives." Yeah! While war between the two superpowers seemed inevitable, the event that finally triggered it was a little unexpected. The whole thing began with a few simple mad lads on a wild night out. These mad lads are called the Mamertines. They were Italian mercenaries employed by the tyrant of Syracuse here. But when he died, his successor said, "Sorry, fellas, we don't need any big burly men with sharp sticks anymore. You can all go home." The Mamertines, as it turned out, didn't want to go home. So instead, they went to the nearby town of Messana and said, "Hey man, we are but poor little buff boys without a home. May we come in?" Aw, poor fellas. Sure thing. Just so long as you promise not to massacre all of us. We promise.
Oh boy.
The Mamertines then massacred all of them. Well,
what?
Not all of them, just the men. And they stole their homes and families. Ha! This is my house now. This is my best dad ever mug now. And you guys are my new family. Son, wanna go play catch with your old papa? You're not my real dad! Ugh.
Let's play freaking Among Us.
Am I right, dear? You're not my real husband. Ugh, I'm so trapped in this marriage. Then get out! No, Messana was now controlled by the Mamertines,
That's
and
crazy.
they began raiding up and down the Syracuse coastline. When the new ruler of Syracuse saw this, he wasn't happy.
Oh
The
yeah,
Syracusans
I would be furious.
began fighting back, and in response, the Mamertines said, "Oh crap, they're fighting back? What do we do? Quick, we'll convince the Carthaginians to come and save us." Oh no! We're in trouble, and we need a big, strong empire to come and rub our bellies.
No way,
Why
the
are you saying it like
no
that?
way, y'all
If I
took
was
this
a big,
bait.
strong empire, I think I'd like to be seduced. See? It's working.
Bro,
The
they're
Carthaginians
freaking
had long
sipping.
dreamed of controlling all of Sicily. They had been fighting Syracuse and their Greek influence on the island for centuries. And now, here was a great opportunity to get one over on them. So Carthage promptly answered the Mamertines' cry for help and sent a force to garrison Messana. As it turned out, however, some within the ranks of the Mamertines weren't too happy with the occupying Carthaginians, and they sent out a second cry for help to Rome. When it reached the Roman Senate, they were a little more hesitant. Going to help the Mamertines ran the risk of triggering an all-out war with Carthage, and they had only just finished conquering the Italian peninsula, so they were kind of tired. Plus, the Mamertines were all the way across the water. They had never made a leap like that before. So you would assume that to avoid any conflict with Carthage, the exhausted Romans would probably sit this one out.
No, they
But
would.
You
They wouldn't.
would assume wrong.
They're stupid.
Rome just couldn't resist a good chance for war. Why?
Of course.
Well, there's something you gotta understand about Rome.
Okay.
See, as a republic, they were hell-bent on preventing any one man from ever gaining too much power. And so rather than having one leader, Rome had two, called consuls, who shared power. These consuls could also only serve for 1 year at a time before new consuls were elected. These measures to limit the powers of the consuls were noble, but had an interesting side effect. The consuls knew they had just 1 year to try and gain as much glory and prestige as possible, something that was very important in Roman society. And the best way of gaining glory and prestige? Military victory, of course. The Roman political system basically ended up encouraging
Roman politics and military were intertwined, and terrors were often also. Consuls led to army. Consuls served. Had 1 year to go and crack as many skulls as
these
possible.
consuls to go out and be as aggressive as your Italian grandmother when you don't eat all the spaghetti. And so the glory-seeking consuls convinced
I don't have
the people
one.
to vote in favor of going to Messana.
My
And
spaghetti.
they went. Upon the arrival of the Romans, the Carthaginians in the city, amongst the confusion, were forced to leave. Now, in contrast to Roman aggression, the Carthaginian military had a slightly different philosophy.
Here,
All right,
okay.
kids, listen up. If you want to grow up to be Carthaginian military leaders, there's a few things you have to understand. If you fail to succeed on the battlefield, that's a crucifixion. Show
What?
cowardice, that's a crucifixion. Hello, sir. What are you doing here? Aren't you meant to be in Messana? Yeah, but the Romans showed up. So you just left? Sure did. Oh, you better believe that's a crucifixion.
What?
The Roman
They
consuls
be
were awarded for
crucified,
victory,
Matt?
and therefore tended to be aggressive go-getters. By contrast, the Carthaginian generals were brutally punished for failure, and so they tended to be more cautious and restrained. This dynamic is helpful for understanding some of the crazy things that happened during the Punic Wars.
Okay.
So, the Romans have crossed...
Bro, off rip, I feel like the Carthaginians, whatever you call them, those people are crazy. Like the Romans are freaking nuts. They are power hungry. They love war. They love to conquer. But the freaking Carthaginians, they were straight up mental. They were straight up mental in their heads,
there was
bro.
some red on the island.
Heck no, boy.
Hit that panic
Crucifixion.
This turn of events was unacceptable.
You got
to
me
both
all the way in
Carthage and
cluster.
Syracuse. So the traditional enemies teamed up to kick the Romans off their island. They surrounded the city and said, "Hey, you jerks! This isn't your island. Come out of there at once." "Okay, we're coming." See, Phil, you just gotta speak with authority. That's what being an alpha male's all about. Hey, man. You brought your weapons and armor?
Oh,
didn't-
heck no.
Oh, crap. Out the Roman legions came to engage the Carthaginians in battle, and they sent them packing. With the
Damn.
Battle of Messana, whether intended or not, by going to help the Mamertines, the two sides had just slipped into an all-out war.
Here we go.
With the initial Roman victory towns across Sicily, including Syracuse, began switching allegiance because being a winner is more fun. But the Carthaginians weren't about to just give up that easily. In 262 BC, they began building up their forces at Agrigentum. So the Romans, being aggressive go-getters, aggressively go-got them. The Romans immediately laid siege, hoping to starve out the Carthaginian garrison. However, because this was the first time Rome had been fighting outside the Italian peninsula, across the water, they struggled to supply their forces, and before long, the Romans were as starving as the Carthaginians they were besieging. They had to forage for food, leaving them open to ambush. And when Carthaginian reinforcements arrived, creating a double siege, things got really bad.
That's
Everybody
crazy!
stopped each other for months
What?
until nobody could take it anymore, and they all finally came out for battle, which Rome won.
How did Rome win? They had them! Oh, I freaking hate Romans! I freaking hate the Romans! Why the frick had them surrounded? They were starving! They were about to freaking off themselves. They were about to freaking... Oh, come on, dude. These freaking Romans are just too good, bro.
The report from the recent siege at Agrigentum, sir.
They're just too good!
30,000 while only suffering 7,000 losses?
That's crazy.
That's amazing. We're the best. Yes, sir. Whoops, those are the wrong way around. What?
What? There's no way that's true.
We lost 30,000? We're the worst. But we won, right? Yes, sir. But we also got our asses kicked. Yes, sir. So are we the best or the worst? Yes, sir.
The Romans won at Agrigentum because they were aggressive go-getters, and they now began eyeing up the possibility of conquering the entire island. But they also suffered very heavy losses, and it was clear they couldn't sustain a campaign if they couldn't supply their troops. Here's the issue. Sicily was an island. Islands are surrounded by water.
Yep.
A strong navy would be vital for supplying troops and winning the war.
True.
Here was Carthage's navy, and here was Rome's.
You're
See
screwed!
the problem. Historians
We're winning!
just how
I'm
much
on Carthage.
naval
I don't
experience
even know
Rome
what
had
side
at
I'm
this
on, but
Presumably,
Frick,
they
I
must
just
have
don't
had
want the Romans
something
to win.
defend their shoreline. But whatever it was, it would have paled in comparison to the Carthaginian juggernaut. And so Rome had to figure out exactly what to do about all this water.
Come on, men. We're not gonna let some pansy candy-ass water get in the way of our glorious victory against Carthage. Charge!
you can't swim? How? Idiot. No one telling your kids, man.
We're gonna need a bigger boat. What's a boat? I don't know. If the Romans wanted
They don't
to
even
win
know
this
what a boat
war
is.
and obtain Sicily, there was
Pathetic.
only one thing for them to do. I guess we're just gonna have to go ahead and build ourselves a war fleet, aren't we? From scratch? From scratch. But we don't even know how. Never mind how to fight with one. Don't worry, Hank. We're up to the challenge. Come on, guys. We're Romans. And Romans aren't afraid of
What
anything.
the frick is that worm?
And so, the Romans worked long and
What
hard
is that
trying to
word?
figure out how on earth you actually build the latest style of warship. In the end, they had a bit of luck on their side. A Carthaginian quinquereme ended up accidentally grounding on Italian soil. The
What?
Romans found it and copied the design. While the new fleet was being built,
Are
the
you
Romans
kidding me? They get the... what type of luck is that?
put rowers on land. And would you believe it? The Romans put together a full fighting fleet
That
of
is so
120
stupid.
warships
Oh.
in just 2 months.
How?
Staggering feat. Now, I know what you're thinking, but oversimplified. If the Romans can build a war fleet from scratch in 2 months, then why does it take you half a year to make a video? Well, my valued subscriber,
Oh,
I
damn.
think you should shut up. What the heck? How on earth did the Romans learn how to
Oh,
build
he told y'all off. He told y'all to shut your ass up. Oh my gosh. Are y'all gonna take that? Oh,
war
frick.
fleet? This
Oh.
shouldn't be happening. From what I hear, they copied the design from us, sir. Well, how on earth did they get the blueprint, Carl? I don't know, sir. But I'll tell you what. If you're worried about people stealing your data, no, and you want to protect yourself from outside threats,
Don't you dare.
then you, my friend,
If you mention NordVPN, I'll scream.
should use NordVPN.
Oh my god.
Now, where were we?
Okay.
Oh, yeah. The siege at Agrigentum, supply issues, and building a war fleet. So
Luck.
now the Romans
Luck.
have a navy, and it's time to put it to the test. But how does one wage ancient naval warfare? Easy. All of the ships had giant bronze rams on the front, so all you had to do was outmaneuver the enemy and give him the jimmies. Easy as pie. And so the aggressive Romans set
That's
out
crazy.
for some good old-fashioned jimmy giving. The consul, Gnaeus Cornelius Scipio, set out for the town of Lipara, believing the garrison there wanted to join the Romans. As he entered the harbor, however, he found himself trapped by a Carthaginian fleet. And in the following skirmish, he was completely outmatched.
Damn!
Romans now
Yes!
had a brand new
Let's
fleet,
freaking go.
But when it came to
Bro, I don't know what side I'm on. I'm sorry. I just like seeing violence. I'm sorry.
engaging in actual combat, their inexperience showed. There was just something better about the Carthaginian ships. The Carthaginian rowers had nicer abs. The entire Carthaginian Empire had been built on expert seamanship.
Facts.
So, when it came to water, the Carthaginians were better, and the Romans were wetter. In their initial skirmish, the Romans were beaten so badly that the consul, Scipio, was given a nickname, Asina. And if you're wondering what that means,
What does that
just
mean?
drop the Ina. So what were the Romans to do? How could they possibly stand up to this Carthaginian superpower? Well, there's something you gotta understand about the Romans.
Another
Back when
one?
they found that Carthaginian ship and copied its design, that wasn't a one-off thing. Copying their enemies was as Roman as punishing murderers by sewing them into a leather pouch with a monkey, snake, and rooster, and then throwing them into a river, which is
What?
what they did. Wait, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, copying their
What?
enemies. Many of the most famous Roman inventions were actually borrowed.
Facts.
Aqueducts, chariot racing, their gods. Even in warfare, the Romans would get pierced by a Sabine javelin, and they'd be like, wow. They'd get hacked to bits by an Iberian sword, and they'd be like, wow. And they'd copy the designs for themselves. However, they wouldn't just
They're
copy
copyrights, bro. Why? How have they not been copyright strikes,
it.
bro?
They would advance it, finding ways
That's
to adapt
crazy.
it as perfectly
They're
as
not
possible.
original. They're
And
fakes.
in the case of naval
Romans are
warfare,
fakes.
the Romans realized if they wanted to beat the Carthaginians at their own game, they would have to adapt. The Romans excelled at combat on land, not on water. But what if, they said, we could somehow turn a sea battle into a land battle? Sounds crazy.
How?
Right? Well, they made a couple of tweaks to their warship, and look, here they come again. They must love getting their asses kicked. Sir, what's that toll thing sticking out of their ships?
What is that? Watch your head, bro.
They really are idiots.
Watch your head, bro.
That'll make them blow over. I mean, look at. Bob, Bob, get your camera out. Take a picture of it. I mean, how stupid can you be? Let's just add a big wooden tower to our ship that'll weigh us down and blow us over in the wind. I mean, what does that thing even do?
Oh
The
my
Romans had built a
gosh.
big swinging spiked gangway called the Corvus. So when the
Corvus.
Carthaginian ships approached to ram them, the Romans would just slam them. The Carthaginians tried going around, no problem. The Corvus could swivel. Try going behind, the Romans would huddle to the coastline.
Bro.
Was foolproof.
Bro, the Romans are just better.
Those big, sexy Carthaginian rowing muscles could flex
Just
all they
better.
want, but they were no match for the Roman mind. So,
Facts.
ladies, you see, what really matters is what's on the inside.
Tell that
Please
to
go
a
with me.
tell
And
that
with
to a
the
modern
Romans,
woman
who
nowadays.
had only just
I doubt
recently
it.
began dabbling in the art of naval combat. Thanks to their ingenious Corvus,
I'm just joking.
had just managed to outclass the Mediterranean seafaring superpower. The Carthaginians were stunned, and the general in charge of the defeated Carthaginian fleet, well, you better believe that's a crucifixion.
Wow.
With
I got
their
crucified.
newfound control of the seas,
No afterlife
the
for
Romans
you.
could now more easily blockade coastal cities and supply their legions on land. Surely, the Romans were now free to unleash their aggression all over the island. Haha! Hey Carthaginians, what are you gonna do now that we're free to rampage across the island? We're gonna go inside these walls and close this gate. Oh, come on, guys. Stop messing around. Come out so we can kill you. No. Oh, come on. No. Oh, no. To counter the new Roman supremacy, the Carthaginians decided to engage in a defensive war of attrition, forcing the Romans to engage in siege. After lengthy siege, the war in Sicily became a long, hard, back-and-forth slug. One by one, cities slowly fell as the Romans gained ground. Occasionally, the Carthaginians countered and even pushed them back, only for the Romans to rebound again. And whenever a city did finally fall, the Romans could delight in slaughtering the entire population and selling any survivors into slavery, which was pretty standard procedure at the time. In general, the campaign on land was progressing much slower than the Romans had hoped, and quite frankly, they were getting sick of it. So in 256 BC, they decided that something had to change. Hey everyone, my name's Marcus Attilius Regulus, and I'll be one of your consuls for this year. Look, as I'm sure you all know, Sicily's being a bit of a drag. Sure, I could go and spend my entire year as consul besieging one single city, but they'll never make a naked statue of me for that. So here's the new plan. I'm gonna skip Sicily entirely, take my army, and go right for the heart of Carthage itself.
What?
I'll slaughter the men, enslave all the women and children, and when I return, you'll all build 1,000 naked statues of me.
No way.
Marcus, that women and children stuff, that seems pretty evil and barbaric. No, Jim, it's perfectly normal in the ancient world. Sometimes we even chop their pets in half.
What?
Okay, guys.
True
looks like
story.
the Romans are coming straight for us this time. And what will they do when they get here? They'll kill us all. They'll massacre each and every last one of us. They may even chop our pets in half. That's barbaric! No, Rob, it's actually pretty normal for the time. We'd do the same to them. Who'll protect us? Funny you should ask, Mary. That's kind of why I called this meeting. Who will protect us?
Yeah, who will?
Protect our families, our homes, our children. You guys? Ha! Don't make me laugh. Why, you're just a bunch of stupid and weak farmers. Simple-minded buffoons. Cowards. Fools. Rob here thinks enslaving women and children is barbaric. You're a snowflake, Rob. Yes, you are. The fact is,
What is going on?
Manage to land on African soil, we're all gonna die. A terrifying, hideous, unspeakably painful death.
That's it?
Is that the end of that speech? Yes. The Carthaginians had to stop the Romans from ever landing in Africa because they believed that would be the end. So as the Romans were building an invasion fleet, the size of which the world had never seen before, the Carthaginians were preparing an even bigger one to stop them. And in 256 BC, as the Roman invasion fleet made its way south, the stage was set for a humongous battle that saw 680 warships, around 300,000 men, fighting to decide the course of the war.
But somehow Romans win. I bet you.
The Battle of Cape Egnomus remains possibly the largest naval battle in human history. All the way back in ancient times. So the next time your granddad tells you about the time he sank a Japanese aircraft carrier, kick him in the nuts. The Romans had a lot riding on this battle. They weren't just sending their warships, but transports as well, full of supplies and horses for their invasion of Africa. They therefore formed a protective wedge-like formation to punch through the long, thin Carthaginian line. The Carthaginian generals, however, desperate to prevent the Romans from reaching Africa, had a plan of their own. As the Roman fleet approached, the Carthaginian center feigned a retreat, luring the Romans in so their outstretched flanks could envelop them. The Romans a clever plan.
Get him!
But with such a huge battle and so many ships crowded together, the Carthaginians struggled to maneuver as hoped. And in the chaos, 3 battles emerged across the huge battle space. With the number of ships limiting their ability to maneuver, the Carthaginians became sitting ducks, and all the Romans had to do was start swinging.
Oh my gosh.
And were then able to turn around and rescue their pinned down flanks.
Are you freaking kidding me?
The Battle of Cape Egnomus was a Roman victory.
Why the frick are these Romans keep freaking winning, bro? I don't understand. Like, are they just that smart? Like, these Carthaginians, bro, you guys suck ass, bro. Oh, man, we're gonna do part 2 in this video as well, guys. Don't think we're gonna do a separate video. We never do that,
After
bro.
the gigantic battle at Cape Ecnomus, the Romans were now free to land on African soil. And so,
Yeah,
they
African
did.
soil,
The
yes.
Carthaginians chose to
Yes,
focus
what
on
are you gonna do
defending
now?
the city of Carthage itself. So the Romans immediately took the city of Aspis and were then free to raid and plunder the countryside. They took over 20,000 slaves and a ton of booty. But then, some orders arrived from the Senate. Send home the booty.
Oh, but I want to stay.
Hey,
Steve,
why
not
the
you.
frick?
They mean the treasure.
How are you so thick?
Well, we are not watching any more of this filth. So the other consul left with the booty, leaving Regulus and his forces on their own, and they began advancing towards Carthage. Along the way, according to the ancient writer Livy, they encountered a literal dragon. Now,
Lies.
Livy was a Roman historian, so his account may be slightly exaggerated. But
Exaggerated.
this, I believe. As the Romans continued to
Exaggerated.
plunder, the
Lie.
Carthaginian people flooded into the city. Now, not only was it in a major panic, but it was so crowded, the people began to starve.
Don't panic, everyone.
Look, I know you're all starving, but I still have food for me. So, you know, it's not all bad.
Who is this guy? Like, you are the worst.
Wasting your tomatoes. And you idiots wonder why you're starving? Oh, well, it's just more food for me.
Things weren't looking good for Carthage. They had to do something to stop the Romans rampaging throughout their land.
This was
So they
dancing.
decided, finally, it was time to put an end to it. They headed out and set up on rough, hilly terrain overlooking the Roman camp. And
Look,
they
bro,
prepared
Their
for
horses
battle.
are a meth or
Now,
something.
while the Carthaginians were the traditional
Type of
masters
drugs.
of the sea, on land, they weren't always the brightest. Case in point, setting up in this position overlooking the Roman camp was just about the stupidest thing they could have done. Why? Well, there's something you gotta understand about Carthage.
Okay.
The Carthaginian land forces actually suffered from a multitude of different issues.
Like what?
First of all, since the Carthaginians were rich, they could afford to pay a huge number of foreign mercenaries to fight for them. These mercenaries actually made up the vast majority of Carthage's forces, and therefore, Carthage's land armies were a melting pot of many different cultures. This, however, meant that if a battle wasn't going their way, there could be loyalty issues. Man, I ain't getting paid enough for this. You Balearic slingers better not be thinking of running away. What did he say? I don't know, man. I don't speak Phoenician. Let's get out of here. Clearly,
What?
there were also language issues. The
Oh
military
my
generals tended to
gosh.
be Carthaginian,
How are these Carthaginians that stupid?
but they made a lot of strange decisions. For example, one of the most feared assets of the Carthaginian army were the war elephants. To a Roman soldier who had never even seen an elephant before, this was like fist fighting, a literal monster. Yet the Carthaginians continually kept placing the elephants in the rear, where they were no use. In a similar fashion, the neighboring region
Are
of
you guys
Numidia
stupid?
provided Carthage with the most skilled cavalrymen in the world. But the Carthaginians often chose to fight on rough, uneven terrain, where horses and elephants were less effective. And so, in this case, when the
Oh,
Carthaginians
people are
again chose the
stupid.
rough terrain near the Roman camp, the Romans easily sent them packing. Wow, Regulus. We're mere miles
Bro,
from
this fool
Carthage.
is yo, this fool got butt implants. Like, I do not believe that's real. Those are butt implants, bro.
You sure are amazing. Yes, Steve. I
There's
know.
no way.
Steve, what's the matter? We've almost won. I just wish I could be as great as you, Regulus. Steve, you're amazing. I mean, look at this thing. It's unbelievable. I know, but I mean like
Too damn
at
thick.
war stuff. I'm such a noob. My tanks always get blown up. I can't even fly an aircraft straight.
Huh?
Tanks? Aircraft? What are you talking about, Steve? I'm talking about free-to-play online multiplayer combat game and
How
this video's
did
sponsor.
Bro, come on!
Now, where were we? Oh, yeah. Invading Africa, getting some booty, and
Yep.
sending the Carthaginians packing. Everything was looking up for Regulus. A Roman victory seemed like it was only a matter of time. But then, Regulus realized something.
Look at this
He
chin.
had been consul for almost a
Crimson
year,
chin looking.
and his term was coming to an end. He knew that if his successor took over and he finished the job, then he would get the naked statues, not Regulus.
Ah.
And there was no way Regulus was going to allow that. So he jumped the gun.
What do you mean?
You there, Carthaginian boy.
I want you to deliver a message to your elders.
I, Marcus Attilius Regulus, demand the total and unconditional surrender of Carthage.
Unconditional surrender? Jeez, at least lay siege and starve us all to death first.
Just deliver the message, punk.
He demands your total surrender.
What? Geez, at least lay siege and starve us all to death first.
Hey, that's what I said. Well, boys, this Roman
Did he
thinks
say
we're
his
out.
name though?
But we're not out, are we, boys? No.
We'll do what we always do in times like this. Hire somebody else to solve our problems for us.
Of course.
Darren, bring in the Spartan. Regulus's overly harsh
What?
demands had the unintended effect of reinvigorating Carthaginian resolve. They brought in a mercenary from the famed land of Sparta named Xanthippus to help dig them out of this situation. And we all know what Spartans are like.
Spartans are freaking. Spartan. You cocked up now. You cocked up now. You brought the Spartans into this. You cocked up now, boy. You screwed. Oh man. Say GG's. Goodbye. Bye bye.
Xanthippus showed up and immediately took charge. He had a look around and said, "You idiots. Put the elephants in front of the army.
Thank
so they
you.
can smash into the Romans. And stop fighting on rough, uneven terrain. Find a big, flat field so your superior cavalry can do their job."
Thank
What's
you.
this I hear about you giving a speech telling everyone they're gonna die? Hey, I was just telling the people the truth. You're a politician. Lie to the people.
Yep.
And
Politicians
so Xanthippus
lie,
led out
come
the
on.
newly reformed Carthaginian army to meet Regulus in the Battle of the Bagradas River. The elephants, now in the front, smashed into the Roman lines, causing
you.
disarray. The
Yep.
cavalry, with total freedom of movement, outflanked the Roman infantry.
Yep.
Thanks to this impressive Spartan, the battle was a total
Spartans are just way too
Carthaginian victory. And Xanthippus, for his stunning victory, was forced to flee Carthage because the leadership got jealous.
Wow.
The Roman consul.
Wow. These freaking Carthaginians are complete idiots, losers, dumbasses, egotistical fools. You know what? I'm on the Roman side. I don't even care about these Carthaginians, bro. Like, they're so stupid, bro. They're so dumb. Just let them die, bro.
Was captured
I
during
don't
the
care.
battle. Legend has it,
I don't
he was
care
brought
no
before the
more.
Carthaginian council, and they made a proposition.
Mm.
Well, Reggie, not looking so good anymore, is it? Looks like we beat you pretty bad, huh?
Up yours, ya Punic pansies.
Now, now, Regulus. Nobody likes a sore loser, do they? No. How about this? We're gonna send you back to Rome, and you convince the Roman Senate to surrender to us. If you fail, though, you gotta come back so we can torture you to death, okay?
Does that make sense?
You promise? I promise.
No.
Hey,
They're not
guys.
gonna do that.
Whoa, Regulus, we thought you got captured. I did, but they sent me back to convince you to surrender. Well, should we? Surrender? No, never surrender. Give 'em hell, boys. They're at the end of their rope. Anyway, I gotta go be tortured to death now.
What?
Yep, part of a deal I made. It's a long story. Oh, hey, wait, Regulus. No, it's cool, guys. I promised. Regulus. This is ancient times. We massacre entire populations. We chop pets in half. You can break a promise.
No, Tim. You never break a promise.
Are you
That's
crazy?
Too far.
And so, Regulus went back to Carthage and was tortured to death.
Is this guy stupid? What is going on here? What happened in these times, bro? Bro, I'm lying through my teeth. I'm lying. I'm not going back there to get tortured. I'm staying my ass in freaking Rome, getting my army together, and we are defeating these Carthage idiots. I keep saying Carthaginian or whatever. I keep saying the name wrong, but.
And for keeping his promise, he was immortalized as the leading symbol of Roman virtue. Meanwhile, after their defeat in Africa, the Roman survivors,
man got his wish.
still in Africa, were
Man
still
got
in
his
Africa,
wish.
and they needed to be rescued. So the Romans sent their fleet to pick him up and bring him home. They successfully fended off
Africa.
the Carthaginian fleet, grabbed the survivors, and made their way to Sicily. A great success. But then, things took a turn for the worse.
Oh no.
Sir? Cloud looks
God
kind of angry.
intervened.
Fear not, coward. If we Romans can build a war fleet from scratch and defeat the Carthaginian Empire at their own game, why then even Mother Nature herself will crumble before us. I laugh in the face of Mother Nature. Ha ha! See? Come on, guys. Laugh at Mother Nature with me. Ha ha!
God was like, you thought, face ass. Come on, man. Stop with
284
this.
ships. Nearly 80% of the Roman fleet was destroyed.
That's
as many
crazy.
as 100,000 men drowned in a terrifying act of nature. Never before had Rome lost so many men in a single incident. 100,000 casualties for any other nation would be crippling. Any other nation would hastily sue for peace. Any other nation would spend decades trying
But
to
Rome
recover.
ain't like
But
that.
Rome was not just any other nation. Infamous for its unrelenting determination in the face of overwhelming odds, Rome said, well, I guess we'll just have to build another fleet. And they did. In just 3
They don't
months,
give up.
they built 220 more ships.
Oh,
An
wow.
astonishing feat. The Romans sent out their brand
3
spanking
months.
new war fleet. And they got caught in another storm. This time,
God really out here saying, don't do
a
it.
whole nother fleet was lost. And still, the Romans did not give up. The Carthaginians couldn't believe it. Their enemy had just lost hundreds of thousands of men, had 2 fleets almost
don't
entirely
care.
destroyed, and they still wouldn't surrender. As one Roman poet put it, the victor is not victorious if the vanquished does not consider himself so. In typical Roman fashion, after a short break, they were once again building another fleet. However, for now, after all the disasters at sea, the focus began shifting back to the land campaign in Sicily. The Carthaginians, overconfident from recent successes, attempted to retake Panormus, but the Romans countered the terrifying war elephants by throwing stuff at them and scaring them away. Having stopped the Carthaginian advance, the road was now open to the final Carthaginian stronghold on the island, Lilybaeum. Lilybaeum was an extremely well-fortified city. In 250 BC, the Romans laid siege. The Carthaginian defense, however, was fierce, and skilled blockade runners kept the city supplied. Progress was so slow that the siege would last another 9 years. To make matters
Holy.
worse, the Carthaginians later sent possibly the greatest military general of the time, a man named Hamilcar Barca, to the island. He engaged in a skillful campaign of guerrilla warfare behind enemy lines, and for the remainder of the war, he was a major thorn in the Roman side. For now, with the deadlocked siege at Lilybaeum and the new Roman fleet at sea, things seemed to be at a standstill, and the Romans had to do something to break the deadlock. Thankfully, the Roman consul, Clodius Pulcher, had an idea. He tried to get things moving by attacking the Carthaginian fleet at Drepana. Now, before a battle, to predict if they would win, it was common for the Romans to look for signs from the gods. This could mean
course.
observing the weather or inspecting some cow livers. You know, typical religion stuff. In this case, Pulcher reportedly tried to feed some
sacrificial
sacred
lamb type
chickens,
stuff.
but unfortunately for him, they wouldn't eat a crumb. A very bad sign.
Oh.
Well, he said, if they won't eat, then let them drink! Stupid chickens! We'll observe the weather instead. Gods, give me a sign. Ignore that. Okay, how about this? If I can get this piece of paper into that trash basket, we'll win. Okay,
Oh, you suck.
if I can stand here silently for 5 seconds and do nothing, we'll win.
Dammit!
Pulcher chose to ignore the signs from the gods, and in the following battle, the superior Carthaginians tore them to shreds. It also didn't help that by now the Romans had removed the corvus to stabilize their ships, and without their secret weapon, it was a disaster, and Pulcher was disgraced. To make matters worse, the victorious Carthaginian fleet then went on to intercept a Roman supply fleet on its way to Lilybaeum. As they approached, however, they saw the signs of an incoming storm, so they took shelter. The Romans, on the other hand,
did not
said,
care.
"Onward, men! Set sail! We've got
Stubborn.
to deliver these supplies stat." But sir, those clouds, don't you think we ought to have learned our lesson by now? Yes, Brian, we ought to have. But we haven't. Another fleet and 50,000 men lost in another storm. Disaster.
Yeah.
At this point, there still really isn't a clear winner. Sure, the Romans have captured most of Sicily and cornered the Carthaginian land forces at Lilybaeum, but the continued disasters at sea were critically depleting their resources, and without a strong fleet, Rome could not win. Meanwhile, Hamilcar Barca was still knocking about and creating even more problems.
Man's becoming a legend,
So,
huh?
where do we go from here? How does this war finally end? By now, the two sides had been fighting for 23 years. They were exhausted. Their money, their resources, their strength were all utterly spent. The Carthaginians in particular were eager to see the war end so they could
Zero
get back to
balance.
trading and making money. So after the latest Roman disaster at sea, they said, "Look, there ain't no way in heck the Romans can come back again. They can't possibly afford to build another fleet.
They can.
They're done. That's it. Recall the navy, repurpose them as merchant ships, and let's get back to making some money." Assuming the Romans would soon make peace, an anti-war faction within the government recalled a large portion of the navy, leaving Hamilcar on his own. The victors appeared to be declaring themselves victorious. Meanwhile, the vanquished were getting ready for round 5. The Romans built another fleet,
Oh,
this
these
time
people don't
heavily
give
relying
up.
on patriotic donations from the upper classes to afford it. And once again, they put to sea. Sir? The Romans have built another fleet. Oh, for goodness sake, Clarence, can't you see I'm busy rolling around in this pile of money? But sir, I don't care anymore, Clarence. I just don't care. The Carthaginian politicians made a fairly lackluster final effort with a poorly built fleet to supply their forces in Sicily. But when the brand new Roman fleet caught them at the Battle of the Aegates, even without their signature corvus, they dealt them the final blow. And that was that. 23 years of war. Neither side could afford to keep fighting, but the Romans showed that they intended to anyway. The Carthaginians had no choice but to throw in the towel. The war had been long and hard for both sides, but in the end, it was Roman determination that won the fight. The Romans had spent the entire war trying to find a way to deliver the knockout blow. They learned how to build a fleet and engage in naval combat. They developed
Bro, if this does not show you that Romans are just probably one of the smartest freaking... Man, Romans are just on another level, yo. They are really on another level when it comes to this type of stuff. Wow. I gotta give it to them.
ingenious new ways of waging war. They
don't give
attempted
up.
an invasion of the Carthaginian heartland, and whenever disasters struck them, they always came back, again and again. The Carthaginians, on the other hand, spent the entire war watching whatever Rome did, and then
Stupid.
figuring out how to respond. They were much more passive, and so it's no wonder then that when both sides were close to collapse, Rome was the one who figured out how to go that little bit further. In 241 BC, the Carthaginian politicians sent word to Hamilcar Barca that he was on his own and could choose to make peace with the Romans if he wished. Hamilcar was stunned. He felt betrayed by the politicians. Some sources say he refused to even negotiate. Nevertheless, terms had to be drawn up. Well, Hammy, I'm glad you Carthaginians have finally come to your senses and recognized who the true winner is. How many fleets did you lose? Okay, here are our terms. You leave Sicily to us and return all of our prisoners. You're not allowed to make war against Syracuse or her allies, and you have to pay us 2,200 talents of silver over the—
What? Heck no, boy! What are you talking about? 2,200 talents of silver over 20 years? Are you stupid? I'm not doing... No, that is a scam.
Next 20 years. What's a talent of silver? Well, to put it in perspective, in the year 2022, that'll be worth around, let's say, 40 million US dollars.
That's...
Caramba!
That is stupid. That is a scam and a half. Oh my...
Cripple us!
Wow, we got a real smart guy over here. Yeah, that's kind of the point, you dingus. Ugh, I guess I have no choice. I accept.
Great!
Oh, by the way, we changed our minds. You actually have to pay us 3,200 talents of silver over 10 years. Thanks for accepting.
Dude!
See you later.
What?
You didn't let me say uncool!
He didn't let me stay on cool. The treaty was extremely punishing, and by switching up the terms at the last minute, they enraged the Carthaginians. But still, one of the longest and deadliest wars at the time was finally over. The Romans had won. They achieved their aim of gaining Sicily, and even though it wasn't part of the peace deal, they took advantage of a weakened Carthage and grabbed Corsica and Sardinia as well. Roman expansion beyond the Italian peninsula had just begun. The Romans hoped that now the Carthaginians would forever be under their thumb. Unfortunately, the harsh terms they placed on the Carthaginians at the end of the war left a growing anger, one that would come back to haunt them. One day, Carthage will have its revenge. That's nice, dear. I'm serious, woman. Maybe not in my lifetime, but perhaps in his. My beautiful son. You are born into a momentous destiny. You shall be Rome's greatest enemy. You'll tear Rome limb from limb. You'll burn their pathetic city into the ground.
Oh my
You'll
gosh.
slaughter their people.
Oh
men, women, and children. My child. You are vengeance. Stop telling our baby he's vengeance. But he is, Barbara. He's vengeance. That may be so someday, but for now, our son has a name, and you should call him that instead.
What is
His
it?
name is...
Hannibal!
Don't forget to play War Thunder now by clicking my link in the description below.
Oh my gosh, that was absolutely amazing. That was so freaking good. Okay, I'm gonna end the video off here. I hope you guys enjoy. I know for a fact a bunch of y'all are already commenting down below a whole bunch of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Telling me more information, more info. Me getting pissed off at the Romans for being so damn good, being jealous. And then I turned. It's just like, yeah, I wrote for freaking Carthage to win, and then I just turned right back to Romans. Bro, they're just too good. They're just too good. Seriously though, I hope you guys enjoy the video. I hope you guys have a great Friday and a great long weekend for anybody that lives in Canada. We got Labor Day and all that stuff. But yeah, I'll catch you guys later. Take care. Stay safe out there. Subscribe. Hit that like button. Make it to 90K subscribers very soon, and then 100K very soon. And yeah, take care. Peace.
You win. Perfect.